Now, I don't want to forget this because when you came home, you and I started going to the different halfway houses and the prisons and everything, right? And one of the things that happened when we went into Essex County Correctional Facility, we were doing a training there. And after the training was over, you said to me, you said, Ms. Bey, do you know who that person was that was sitting over there? I said, Ms. Stokes, I don't know who that was. I said, well, who was he? And you said, that was my drug dealer.
Yes, it was.
And I asked you the question, how did it feel giving a lecture and the person who sold you your drugs was now incarcerated?
It felt good because I knew I was going to never go back and buy no drugs for him again, first and foremost. Like, I knew that wasn't going to never happen. But he was happy that I had got my life together. You know what I'm saying? He was happy. First and foremost, he was shocked. You know what I mean? When he see me up there, he was like, "Hustle, man? Like, what?" You know what I mean? Like, he was amazed. But like, I amazed myself with some of the things I do now because I had no idea that the Creator was going to bring me this far. Like, we know, none of us have no idea how far the Creator is going to bring us.
Right.
It all depends on how we use the power we have, and our power is our choices and decisions.
Right.
You know, if we use that power wisely, it's going to be manifested wisely. You know.
Right.
So I learned that. So
but see, you learned it because at that point you were open to accept certain things, and that makes a difference because you know whenever we go inside, we always say to the brothers and sisters, there are no excuses, at all. You know, you either accept it or you don't, but you don't make excuses because once you start making excuses, you don't accept the responsibility of what brought you to where you were at that time.
Yeah, because only a fool refuses knowledge. You know? And that's in both books, you know, the Christian book and the Quran. Only a fool refuses knowledge. And knowledge is all in all aspects of life, you know. So when you get somebody who's trying to give you some information and give you some stuff that's going to help you, who's older than you, who's been through it, or even some younger brother, some young brothers that give you some information. You'll be a fool if you don't take that information and reflect on it and see how it's going to help you in life.
Right.
You know, like, so it's important that you pay attention and your awareness is up.
Right.
So you can avoid the pitfalls and stuff like that, you know, like I do now, you know.
But see, that's because your vibration level was coming up.
Frequency is linked up.
Exactly, exactly.
Frequency is linked up.
And see, I want the audience to also know another thing that happened to you when you came out because you started really being a counselor. You know, to people, right? And the reason why you were able to do that was because people saw your transformation, and that makes a difference. So you told me that you had gone to this bar.
Oh yeah, I went to this bar. It's on Clinton Avenue. It's called the Blue Mirror.
Okay.
Went there because I love to dance. You know that house music is my thing.
Yes.
So we went there to get it in one night. It was me, my man, and he had a couple of his female friends with him. So we in there. So it was this one guy was trying to talk to one of the girls that was with us, you know. So he kept trying, she was real nice. She kept telling her brother, like, listen, you're a little drunk right now. You know what I mean? Maybe it was another time I would talk to you, but right now, you know, it's not gonna happen. So he kept going back and forth. So when we left the party that night, he came outside. We going to get in the car in the parking lot. He comes in the parking lot. He's like, yo, babe, let me talk to you for a minute. And she like, listen, I don't wanna talk to you right now, maybe another time. Then we'd be able to talk like when you're not like you is. So I told him, I said, listen, but sometime you gotta have some acceptance in your life. It ain't happening right now. Maybe the next time you'll be all right. So he just looked at me. He was like, what you say? He was just snapped. He said, man, I'll blow your head off. So he whipped out the gun. And I'm standing there and they panicking, they hollering and everything. You know, so I'm standing there and I'm looking at him and I can see that he in a bunch of pain. Cause, you know, from the grace of God, like I know that used to be me.
That used to be you.
That used to be me, you know, so I seen it. So I told him, I said, look, bro, like your problem, your fight ain't with me. Like, I don't know what's going on with you. I said, but I got hugs for you. I got hugs on deck, you know what I mean? So I walked up to him, you know, like I'm scared, I'm nervous, cause he still got that gun in his hand, you know. He got a Desert Eagle, that's a big gun, and he mad. So I went over there and I hugged him and everything. He started crying and everything. So my friends are like, come on, get in the car. I said, nah, I'm about to chill and talk to him for a minute. So when I found out that he had just did 5 years in jail and he came home, he made a lot of promises to his wife that he wasn't gonna go back on the streets and do none of that no more. But soon he got out, he went back to the same lifestyle and she left him. So he was going through it mentally right there.
Through it. Okay.
So I sat there for like 45 minutes talking to that brother, like that was a serious night right there.
But see, but what you just described is what a lot of us have gone through in life.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been handled a different way if you were not there to recognize him in you.
Yeah, I think I was crazy that day. I don't know what made me walk up to that guy.
Because that's how you are. You do stuff like that.
But I wasn't scared,
No, you weren't
plus
afraid.
I knew he needed some help,
Because you saw it in his eyes.
Yeah, I know he needed some help. Man.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. That's how I am right now. Whenever I see somebody needs some help or something like that, like I try to give it, man. I try to pay it forward.
No, and you do, because now, what I always tell a lot of brothers when they start making excuses to me about the rest that they have, I said, look, I know a brother who was arrested 58 times and who went down twice, and he always has a job. Always has a job. Once you came home and you made that decision, this is it, you are always working.
Yeah, because I took that saying on the wall, attitude is more important than fact. I took that serious.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's one of the things, one of the books you gave me was the 4 agreements.
Yes.
And one of the agreements I made with myself is always do my best.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what.
Right.
So I went to go get a job one day and they had told me, you ain't qualified for this job. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I understand that, but can I talk to the chef for just like for 1 minute?
Yes.
And the lady was like, why? You're not qualified for this job. I said, I understand that. But if you ask him, can I come around there and speak to him for 1 minute? I just want to talk to him just to see. And she was like, okay. So she let me go down there. It was like 9 of us that went that day. Ain't nobody get the job. I left out of there with that job.
You left out with a job.
I left out of there with that job because ain't nobody, I'm the only one that asked to go down there and speak to him.
Right.
So when I went down there and he looked at my resume and everything, he said, well, you're not a sous chef. You're not prepared to handle this. I said, I might not be prepared to handle the sous chef job. I said, but I know how to cut vegetables, all of that. I know how to wash dishes, whatever it takes for me to move to the next level. Y'all need to hire me because y'all gonna benefit from somebody like me. This job is gonna be a better job hiring me. Mm-hmm. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you an opportunity.
Right.
And he gave me that opportunity.
Yes.
And just like I told him, when he gave me that opportunity, I started off as a dishwasher, but I left there being a prep cook because every time I had a little time in between, I was always over there. Yo, how you cut this? How you cut the lobster? Yo, how you do this? How you do that? I was always over there. So when the prep cook didn't show up,
right,
I knew how to do everything. So they're like, yo, Chris, you wanna take this prep cook job?
Yeah.
I said, y'all hiring me as a prep cook, or you just want me to just do the job?
Right.
He said, no, we're gonna hire you as a prep cook. I said, okay. So I moved right on up.
Right.
So.
And see, and what you did there, you instead of getting ready, you were ready. For it because of the process that you took yourself through.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the suggestions that you would say to brothers and sisters who were in your situation and how they could begin to transform their lives? What is one of the things that you may suggest to them to do?
The first thing I would tell them to make sure they find out, what got them to where they at right now. You know what I'm saying?
So that's investigating.
You got to do a searching and fearless moral inventory of yourself. That's step 4 in Narcotics Anonymous. You have to do that because if you don't go down deep, like some of the lectures I give, I'd be like, you can't be a surface dweller no more. You have to be a deep sea diver. So down there in the abyss, down there in the darkness, is where fear at.
Right.
Fear is nothing but a thought in your mind.
Yes.
That's all it is, So you're gonna have to deal with all those things that got you right to where you at right now. A lot of people don't want to deal with that because it's a lot of pain, It's a lot of anxiety, it's a lot of frustration, it's a whole lot of that because you don't know what somebody has been through.
Right.
And a lot of people put a blockage up, put a wall up, they don't want to go back that far.
Right.
But see, I knew if I didn't go back that far and something comes up that happens to me or I get into a situation, if I haven't dealt with those demons that was in me, if I haven't dealt with my character defects, I'm going to go right back to resort to the exact same thinking I had before.
Right.
So I was like, hold up. One of the main things I did was journal. Mm-hmm. And I would tell them, write down. If you can't go back mentally or something like that, then put it on paper so you can see it. You know what I mean? Then you can address it, you know?
Right.
Because we're human beings, you know what I'm saying? We made 65% energy. So we already know that if we don't address who we are and deal with our feelings and emotions, that we can mess around and be right back out there. Because you could say like 85% of the people is getting high because they feelings and emotions. But they're not dealing with them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you
They're
learn
anesthetizing it.
Yeah, if you
Right.
learn to deal with anything that you're feeling and that you go through, you'll learn to adapt.
Right.
And once your awareness becoming up, because awareness is spirituality. Once you become aware of who you was and how you got to that person and the transition you made to get to where you at now, there's no reason for you to go back to the past, because the past is never going to change.
Right.
It's always going to be the same.
Right.
But in the moment right now, if you make the right choices and the right decisions right now, you can change your future.
Right,
And I
exactly.
said, ho.
And that's what you did.
That's what I did.
That's exactly what you did. And so now, today, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm a certified peer recovery specialist. I got my NEWARK certification. I got my forklift certification. I got my culinary arts certification. Because when we went through the program and down in North,
Yes.
when we went through the program,
Yes.
after the 6 months, they told you that they'd pay for you to go get a certification.
Right.
So my mother told me the four best letters in the alphabet is FREE, free. So if they say it's free, you'll be a fool not to jump in that line.
Right.
So you can get those type of things, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like, your resume and your bio should be thick. It should be good, you know, and I learned that from you. Like, Mr. Stokes, you got to get some things. So when somebody, because your record, you know what I'm saying? When they see your record, you got to have something to counter that.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
even when you go to court, if you go into court and you got this wrong, you got to have something to counter those things. Bang, bang, bang. Yes, Shawn, I was like this, but this is what I'm doing now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got my disposition papers. Whenever I go on an interview, I bring my disposition papers with me.
Right.
So they can see.
The
They
progress.
ain't got to give me no record check. I got it
Right.
right here for you.
Exactly.
Bam, so now you look at, but I also got my bio and my resume with me too.
Right.
So after they read my record, then they read my bio and they read my resume, they look up like,
Is this the same person?
you did all this in this period of time? I
Exactly.
said, yes, I did. Wow.
Right.
Now they done forgot about your record. Now they like, what? Well, how did you, well, what happened when you, now all these good questions coming. So now you got them right where you want them at. Now it's up to you to sell yourself.
Right.
And you can just go from there.
And see, and what you're saying, it reminds me that we all need help along the way.
Most definitely.
All of us
Most
need the
definitely.
help. We still got to put that work in, but as we're going on our journey, we still need help along the way.
You know, I called you on a regular, Miss Bay. Miss Bay,
Yeah.
hey, what y'all got on
know.
board? I need a job. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the jobs I was getting, it was like for 6 months or whatever.
Right.
So when it was over with, you had to be prepared to get another one.
Right.
Because the
Right.
doors almost definitely gonna get shut in your face. But that's nothing. Like I always tell the people, they go, man, they keep closing the door in my face. I say, yeah, but you there knocking on it. Before you weren't even there knocking on it.
Right.
So what you complaining for? Just because this one closed don't mean the next one ain't gonna open. You gotta keep going.
Right, because
No
you're
matter
getting
what.
closer to it.
You're getting closer to it.
But
It's gonna open.
Right.
You gotta keep going. You gotta, no matter what,
Right.
you gotta keep going. You gotta
But just
to
like
keep
you
going.
said earlier, why people are in pain, they don't want to address their pain because it's so painful.
It's so painful, yeah.
And then with the rejection, when some people are rejected, it takes them back to all of the rejections and not understanding that rejection is a good thing. Because if you're open, you understand, okay, I'm rejected right now, but if I keep going, the door is going to open.
Absolutely.
You know, I want to thank you, Mr. Stokes, for coming in, and I'm proud of you. I'm looking forward to you doing some phenomenal things.
Well, Miss Bay, anytime.
Thank
You
you.
already know. You gotta just call me. I'm there.
I know, okay.
I ain't usually late, but
Right, that's okay.
took the lift a while to come get me. I was like, what's happening?
That's okay. No, I know. That's
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming.
That's no doubt, Miss Bay. Anytime I could come back, man, and share my experience, strength, and hope, man, that's my purpose in life, man. Like, I love doing this. Like, I know I could do this all day.
No, I know you can. And my name is Maryam Bey. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.